Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast, your highest source of sacred truths and universal wisdom. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Rachel Fiori, mystic, spiritual teacher, psychic healer, and founder of Masters of Self University. Join our journey of soul transformation as we deep dive into this latest episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Rachel Fiori here. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast. I have a very special guest with me today. Angela Shelton is here to talk about unraveling from the web of abuse. We have a very, very, very important topic that we are going, sensitive topic that we are going to dive into today. But before we do, my lovely, darling Angela Shelton, for those who may not know who you are, can you please tell us who the hell you are, why you're so amazing?
Hey, Rachel, I love you so much. Well, let's see. The first Cliff Notes is I am a gateway to be fully self-expressed. Because
I like that.
So you may be fully self-expressed in whatever area that is. Mainly, I liberate survivors of tends to be trauma out of pain and suffering and totally catapult them into living their true purpose. And it's really magnificent. And I do that by making movies, speaking engagements. That's like movies, music, and messages. And I am a voice to be reckoned with. And I'm also a superhero for little kids. I won an Emmy for it. Safe side, super chick.
Won an Emmy for it. She slid that in there. Everybody hear that?
Fancy. Also been to the Oscars and stuff like that. And I've had many, many awards and walked the red carpets in Paris and in Hollywood. And I just, honestly, what I want to talk about is what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about.
Yeah.
Let's dive in.
Yes,
so you are amazing and incredible. Thank you for sharing the space with me and all the beautiful, amazing things that you do that anybody can go check out. And we'll give all those resources. We'll make sure we give that so you can check out all the wonderful things that Angela does and is involved in, because she is incredible. And I thank you for everything that you do, Angela.
Thank you.
For today, let's talk about unraveling from the web of abuse. So first, we're going to talk about abuse, and we may get specific, but this is any type of abuse that people have experienced in their lives. Now, as a child, all types, any type, it doesn't matter what type. There are obviously long-term effects when someone is victimized, when there is abuse. So we're going to dive into how do we unravel that? How do we get out of that sticky web of all the that has happened, all the programs, the unhealed traumas, the wounds that are created when someone is abused, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, sexually, whether they were molested, whether they were victimized in one traumatic time, raped one time. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. How do we begin to unravel it? What's one of the most important things to start with, Angela?
Oh, God, it's 100% what you're saying to yourself in your head. That is the biggest therapy. I mean, what happened for me is I made the documentary where I drove around the country and I met every Angela Shelton because I thought it was going to be funny. And it turns out 70% have been victims of child sexual abuse, rape, and or domestic violence. And one of the Angela Sheltons was tracking sexual predators, and she lived in the same town as my dad. And I arrived on Father's Day. Like, you can't write that. If you put it in a screenplay, they'd be like, it's a little too easy. Wow. So literally, so I was just surveying women in America. I thought it was going to be funny. And it turns out 70%. And then I started talking to men. And so I literally was thrown, like, there's life before that movie for me and life after that movie. And life after the movie is because I started hearing the stories. And I've been on the road for 20 years. Honestly, I've been to every state, down every highway. And I've heard the stories from men and women, all genders. And there is no boundary, first of all. Yeah. No boundary. And so what I did is I just stopped everything in my life. And I went 3 years, not full time, trying every healing technique I possibly could, from EMDR to crystals to dance therapy to I laid in the egg with the water. I had the shaman. I did everything, right?
Mhm.
And outside of, and so I went and like paid for it so I could tell you how it was, you know? And the most profound healing is what you're saying to yourself in your head. And
Comes
that's
from
free.
within.
That would be free. You're welcome.
Comes from within.
Because what happens is that I just see like, I think life is an Excel spreadsheet, right? And so you have all of those things you listed off. You could have, you know, sexual trauma, domestic violence, you name it, all in one line. It's like the ACE studies. There's an actual study on it. And if you've had that, likelihood of you getting into abusive relationships is pretty high. Likelihood of you being addicted to God knows whatever is pretty high. Likelihood of you losing your connection to your infinite source, which is why I love you, is pretty darn high. But when how you fix it is you change the equation, just like an Excel spreadsheet. And the best way to change the equation is what you're saying to yourself in your head. Because the most common thing I've noticed is people do to themselves what the abuser did.
Yep, absolutely. Say that again, because I love this, because it's so true.
Stop doing to yourself what the abuser did to you.
Yeah.
And that includes degrading you, treating you like crap,
Yep.
lying to you. Because, hi, you're lying to yourself. Hello. Treating you like crap, like not taking care of you.
Yes.
Like fear, you know, feeding, bathing, clothing, you know, parenting. One needs to be parenting yourself.
Yeah.
Like you have to retrain. That's why it's like almost you have to reparent yourself.
You absolutely do. And that, so let's break this down. So self-awareness, self-awareness, self-awareness.
Yeah, say it again.
Self-awareness. Self-awareness. So here, because this overlaps with the things that I teach and that we 100%. Offer at Masters of Self University, is the number one most important thing is to become fully self-aware. And what does that mean? I have to become fully self-aware of every damn program I run that got imprinted on me, that is a result of the trauma. Every single crumb every single particle aspect of me that is in there that is still unhealed, or that is a quote unquote negative program because of that. The way that I don't take care of myself, as you were saying, the way that I lie to myself. No, I'm fine. It was a long time ago. I've been in therapy for 20 years, but is it healed?
Patterns too are a huge one. One is like really being radically honest, which is right along what you said, being self-aware and being radically honest. A big one for me, and I know I'd say this for a lot of ladies, is you could go to a stadium of gentlemen and you're gonna find the asshole.
Yeah.
You're gonna find him. It's gonna be like a magnet. You're probably gonna marry him, have some kids with him too. Like, and then get, you know, so it's like this magnet. And I, for myself, had the complaint, because it's like you notice what you're complaining about, what you're saying to yourself in your head. What you're complaining about is like over and over, oh, men are so bad, men are so angry, men are so bad. Well, it took me a while of being really honest with myself, but I had a pattern of the angry men and the ones that punched holes in the walls and were like volatile. Because I wanted to be. They were acting out really what I secretly, I was like, yes. When I would see like a real explosion, which I've seen many times, which is also my dad. So you're like, you're dating your daddy on repeat. And then you're like, oh, wait, it's because I want to flip the hell out on you. And
so you learned that was one of your programs that you ran. That was one of your programs that you ran. I'm pointing that out. I'm pointing that out for our listeners. When some people hear that and they say, oh, but that's not me. That's okay. This is one example of when you go through abuse. This is just one example that Angela shared, that for her, that is one of the programs that got created inside of her. So I want everybody to really hear that.
Yep. And hear that I was attracted to that because I secretly wanted to rage out myself.
Yes.
And now when I said that to my brain, you know, and like, hey, brain, I get it. I get why you keep attracting this stuff to me because I needed to see it. And then I started to flip out in a healthy, intentional way, kind of like I have intentional um affection. I have a
Mhm.
intentional rage outburst, intentional, like, where you get it out of your body. So I started having, like, intentional, safe, like, obviously not hurting anybody, you're breaking plates or whatever you're
Mhm.
doing. Me was a punching bag that I hit with a baseball bat, and I destroyed it. And I needed to do that and just, like, purge rage out of my body. It was so great because I could like, I noticed the in traveling, the 2 things that people are so afraid of is getting mad, that was me,
Yep. Yep.
or crying. And that
Yes.
is those people that you meet that are like, "Yeah, I'll cut you." You know, they have no problem being, like, super tough,
Yep.
and those are the ones, like, they're with me, y'all, in the back crying for the first time in their life, and it's gonna be a fl and the thing is, it's not gonna last forever. It's
Right.
not so scary, like, you just let's cry about it. I could cry all day long at a freaking puppy commercial, right? But I could never, like, until I really was honest with myself, I could not get mad.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of so let's talk about this for a minute. This is one of the things that I coach, and I've recently taken somebody through this. She actually had a lot of physical symptoms showing up in her body, a lot of physical symptoms, and it was all suppressed anger, all suppressed rage, because she would never get angry. She would never get mad. And this can
Mhm,
be very common for women who have been abused, because if you get angry, you're going to get it worse.
mhm.
That the violent ones, when we are in our toxic programming, our unhealed stuff, violence is usually expressed by men. It is not normal for women to immediately go to violence. That's a man thing. That's a real thing. What women tend to do is they suppress it because they don't know what's coming. It could be worse. If I even look angry, I could get the beating worse. I'll get raped again. I'll get what, and those are real things that we want
Mhm.
to talk about and not sugarcoat anymore. Y'all listen to me, y'all don't sugarcoat shit. So we're getting in it. We are getting in it. That is a real thing. So it's a very common program that women learn to run, which is suppress, suppress, suppress. And then when it comes to healthy anger, that's a normal, healthy
You're gonna lose your
emotion.
mind, girl.
Yeah, you're either going to get really fucking sick,
Mhm.
or you're going to start losing your shit and raging out. I mean, and we none of that is healthy.
This is
No-
why I always use the analogy of a sword. So, like,
yeah,
whatever you've been through is like being pierced with a sword. And you could leave it in, like, imagine, like, those little things they make us do it, like, you in school, you carry around a baby or a egg.
yeah,
Like, if
yeah.
you imagine, like, all day you have a sword in your body, like,
Mhm.
it gives you pain. This lady you're talking about, she has, probably back pain, like, chronic headaches, chronic vaginal issues, like, it's gonna show up in your body.
She had chronic swelling. Her entire body was swelling up. A
Interesting.
lot of inflammation.
Well,
Inflammation, angry. It was
mhm,
angry.
and I
Yeah.
have never met anybody, if it exists, hey, call me. I've never met anybody who has fibromyalgia who is not also a victim of child sexual abuse.
We'll listen to that.
Mhm, and I've seen like, instant healing when they say out loud, "I am mad," and what they're mad about, and then the body's like, "Oh, great, I've been trying to tell you."
Yeah.
And then and then when you make a clue, that's what's so brilliant about you and what you do and what I do is it's fast.
Yeah.
You do not have to sit in therapy for the next
Oh
20
God.
years laying on a sofa,
No. Please
retelling the
stop it.
story.
Please stop. Please stop with traditional therapy. Please.
It's like
Traditional therapy. We need to get away from tradition. It doesn't heal. It doesn't actually heal anything. I say it over and over to everybody who will listen. Traditional therapy has been proven not to work. If you did not know that, you know it now. Traditional therapy. There are ways to actually heal this thing. It has to happen on an energetic level, going into the pain, into the programs, and actually transforming that energy. The programs we run, the pain, the trauma,
mhm,
the unhealed stuff, they are just energetic programs. That's part of what we do. That's why I'm so passionate about what we do at Masters of Self University. We are teaching you to go in with your divine power, connect to your divine power, and actually alchemize all that you are carrying inside of you. It's
Yes,
so
queen.
important. So important to know that you have the power to do that. You might not have the know-how, you might not have the skills yet, but the power is there. You just have to learn how to do it.
And I got
So,
to tell you some good news too, to all my survivor friends out there who I understand. You already know the answer to your question.
oh yeah, I love that.
You really do. Like all
Yeah.
your journaling, all the times you've been telling yourself, like 10 years from now, you already are going to know, like, well, I should have done this or I could have done. Like, if you know it 10 years from now, that means you know it
You
right
know
now.
it now.
You
You
just
know it
have to
now.
listen to yourself. And the key
Yeah.
is listening to yourself and making bold shifts. And when we make bold shifts around this particular topic, it can
Yep.
freak some people out,
Yep.
especially generational trauma in families. And when you
100%.
break the mold, they're like, "What the I mean, what's she doing, Clyde?" You know, like,
I
"Quiet
know.
her down." You know,
Oh
and
yeah. I mean, forget it. Are you kidding me? A woman that actually has a voice and can speak out
uh-huh.
about the traumas and the injustices and actually do something about it. That's not ladylike.
Well, I'm funny, so I don't
Well,
die.
like, what do you, the hell is your definition of ladylike? Sitting
Yeah,
down,
seriously.
suppressing shit, being a slave and a servant? Like, we're here to quit that shit. No more. That's over. Bye bye. That
Yeah,
reign has ended. Get the fuck out of here.
I love you.
Get
Let
the
me
fuck
get
out of here.
over to the Mary Magdalene gospel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mary Magdalene.
Oh,
You mean that prostitute?
she's a dang whore. I
She's a
I
whore.
I literally was reading parts of the gospel of Mary Magdalene because honestly, I didn't even know it existed like any of us. And once I did find out about it, I read it and I was like, holy cow, I have been teaching this.
Yeah.
This is my path. This is what I've been doing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, holy cow. All right. I could turn the pulpit over and go back into the church and be like, yo, let's talk
This
about
is
the hidden
let's
part.
let's speak some truth. Shall we
Yeah.
try that for a century or two? Let's try that. Let's speak some truth in the
Hey,
church for
P.S.
those of you who go there and follow that path.
I just want to say, God bless the churchgoers. I got my book deal in church because they invited me to speak, and I was like, y'all know who you're talking to, right? You don't know what she's going to do up there. And I went up there and literally did a whole speech about the importance of having spiritually connected, committed sex. And by doing so,
Wow.
you could actually eradicate child sexual abuse and domestic violence. And they were like, "What is she talking about?" And the preacher was literally giving me like this little clap on the side, like,
Oh,
"I love you, I appreciate you." And I got a book deal.
that's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? I
There
was
you
like,
go.
"That's not crazy, it's awesome." But
Yeah.
it's like because, send us in, both of us are speaking what people are like, "Do you think it's time to say that? Do
Yeah.
you think do you think we're gonna get burned at the stake?
Right.
We're
Well,
going
listen.
together, sister."
Listen, they burned me at the stake as I'm screaming. I'm still screaming my teachings while I go. That's what's coming out of my screaming. So you try what you
Yeah.
want, but you ain't shutting me up.
Same,
Like,
same.
we're here to heal this. We're here to heal all of this that has happened for centuries. And we are here to heal this planet and do what we need to do to help each individual heal in order for every one of you listening to wake up to your power because you all have it inside of you. It is
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It is there. But you have to be willing. How do you unravel from the web of abuse? Oh, take a breath. We're going to teach you what this means, but I'm giving you the trigger warning. You
What, the
have to
R
be,
word?
yeah, you have to be willing to take responsibility for it.
It is the R word. I was like, "She's gonna say the R word."
The R word. You have to be willing to
Responsibility.
take responsibility for what does that mean? It does not mean you caused it. It is your fault. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Never anyone like myself or Angela, I don't want to speak for her, but never are you going to hear someone like me tell you that it was your fault when you've been victimized. Get the fuck out of here. And by the way, I'm going to add a little side note. You better stop, all you people out there. I don't care if it's medical professionals, I don't care if it's police officers, anybody who comes to the aid of a woman or a man, but of a woman who has just been raped and you're going through the procedures and the rape kit and the interviewing and the questioning and the whatever you need to do, you better stop asking her what the fuck she was wearing.
Oh,
First
God.
of all, we don't victimize the victims. We add an extra layer of trauma and victimization to somebody who has just been victimized. That's my little side pedestal that I stood on for a moment.
True.
But it does not mean when we say take responsibility for it that it was your fault. It is not okay, and it is not fair, and it is unfucking acceptable that you were victimized in whatever way that you were. We are not here to tell you take responsibility for the fact that you were, but the fact that you were, because you were, it is your responsibility to heal yourself from that, because no one else on this planet, sure not the fucking victimizer, is going to do it for you. No one will, and no one can. You have to step into your power and take responsibility for the healing of yourself. So that is what we mean when we say you have to take responsibility for your traumas.
I'll also say something else. Okay, you ready? That's the R word, responsibility. Then there's also victim addicts.
Yeah, the victim consciousness.
Where it's like you're addicted to being a victim. And the victim addicts, I hate to say, can be worse than the perpetrators. And the thing is, to get out of the victim addict thing is like, because you're holding, or they, them, what they're holding on to, or we, as we've all been there, I feel like, holding on to the story as the identity.
Exactly.
And if you let go of that, what do you have?
Right.
Hey, guess what? What if it's awesome? I mean, I literally wrote a 12-minute song. You can go to my top of my website, angelashelton.com, right there. It's a 12-minute song that takes you through this whole process of like, oh, wait, I was a victim. Oh, wait. And literally the message of the song is stop doing to yourself what the abuser did to you.
There you go. Bring that back full circle. I love it.
And then it's set to really great music so that you can dance, and then do like you get out of the sympathetic nervous system and get into the parasympathetic nervous system with dance, which is also a quick way to switch around your neural pathways, is to shake, which is why I like dance so much.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. But it's daunting because the victim addict thing is fed to us.
It is. Oh my God.
You're supposed to be an addict. You're supposed to be a victim. You're supposed to have all this stuff. By the way, I was going to be, when my documentary came out, and I'm Safe Side Super Chick, and I was going to be on the cover of a big fancy magazine that you see always when you're in the supermarket.
I love this story. Listen up, everybody.
Cover story and the whole spread, they come to my house and they take pictures and they interview the la la la. I got a call. It was exciting. I was like, holy shit, I better get my website ready. But yeah, because I was on Oprah too, and then your website blows up. So the editor called and said, actually, we're not going to run the story on you, because after interviewing you and reading the whole thing and seeing the whole process, you're just too happy.
I want all the listeners to let that sink in.
Fuck. And I was like, say what? And she's like, we need to show victims. Sentence. We need to show victims. I'm like, wow. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show me happy even more. I'm going to show me happy taking back my sex life. I'm going to show me happy taking back my body. I'm going to show me happy being totally single and without a dude.
Yeah.
Fuck all y'all.
Fuck all y'all.
Happy. And
so
that's my goal, is to inspire happily ever after, no matter what the fuck you've been through. The end.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And I want to stay here for a moment. So the first time Angela shared that with me, I don't even know why in the world we live in right now, that I had a moment of, and my jaw dropped, and I did the gasp when she said that they wouldn't run the magazine article because basically she wasn't, victim-y enough. She wasn't pathetic and sad enough.
True.
And you're healed and whole, which means what? Let's talk about this, because I'm going to take this deeper. Everybody take a breath. Ready? You got it. Here we go. It would show how powerful women are. Bingo. That's why. It would show that no matter what was done to you, you have the power to rise the fuck above it. And actually, because what you did to me, I can become even more powerful. You
Yes,
try to push me down, you smash me into the ground, you do whatever you want to do. I actually have the power in those moments to heal, love, nurture myself like no one knows how, because that is what sacred feminine energy is, by the way. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And I have access to that simply very easily because I am a woman. And because of that, I then have the opportunity to become 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times more powerful today than I was when you chose to victimize me. So guess what? You show that level of power as a woman and you start spreading that out into the world. What is that going to do with toxic patriarchy?
It's gonna get her canceled, girl.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes cancel culture.
Try my movie. I have a beautiful boxing movie that has the most beautiful message of love, and it has been a goddamn hurdle. Oh my god! And I'm like, don't even get
More
me
than
started.
a hurdle. Say the name of your movie, please.
It's called The Hammer. It's based on a true story. It's directed by me. There's another one on Amazon Prime that's 10 years ago. It's kind of tan. It's like a wrestling movie. Mine's a boxing movie. He's got red boxing gloves. It's called The Hammer. And it's a true story about a prison boxer who was offered freedom to fight in the 1984 Olympics, and he said no. And the movie is why he said no, and so you don't want to give it away.
Yeah,
But
go see the movie The Hammer. Go see the movie The Hammer right now.
really,
Where is it?
it's on
Where
Amazon Prime.
Amazon
Or actually,
Prime?
oh girl, you could get my app now on my site, and I'm gonna let you watch it on my app. You know what I mean? And then like talk to you about it, because wow, has it been, the obstacles are set up because it's about love. Mm-hmm.
And
And it breaks
empowerment.
it breaks boundaries. Again, like my number one audience for that movie is the typical air quotes perpetrator that everybody talks about. It's the guy who's the kind of misogynistic, little homophobic, little racist, dude, like white dude, country, gun-toting, voted for Trump, Christian man. That is my guy. Send them to me. If you have them in your family, send them to me. I want them. So
Yeah.
I'm very good with them. And they have like total 180s. Like literally like a shaboom. And much like a survivor, like survivors who get out of the victimhood, who get better, are the best warriors. Those are
Oh,
who
yes,
I
they
want in
are.
the foxhole, right?
Yes. Listen,
Just like
hold on.
yeah,
I'm going to push pause
say it again.
because I want to let that sink in to those listening.
Mhm.
That survivors, you have no idea
Mhm.
the level of power that you can tap into if you're willing to learn how. You have no idea. You cannot even fathom
Yeah.
the power that emanates from you. And it doesn't emanate from you automatically because you've been victimized. No,
Mm.
no, 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 no. It is an invitation. It is a divine invitation for you to do a transformation, complete transformation. This is a death rebirth cycle invitation for you, that since you've gone through such traumatic things, you actually have the highest level of power that you could tap into if you're willing to learn how. You can not only transform yourself, you can help transform this world in healthy ways, in very healthy ways. So hear that
Hell yes.
you are the warriors waiting to be turned into warriors.
Oh yeah, I just got goosies like all up and down my back, just like wings come out. But I've seen it happen in groups. You can do like quantum healing, and it has like a wave of aha moments, and you're like, holy cow, that's what I needed. It's like, getting punched in the face, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that fixed my neck. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But wow, it is totally a spiritual journey.
Yep.
And also the power. I mean, I can talk freely with you because I've had that experience many times where you just energetically push perpetrators out of the room.
Yeah.
I have done it.
Yeah.
It's some powerful stuff. It's really powerful stuff. And it's like, well, do you talk about it or do you just go ahead and do it?
Yeah. I usually love go ahead and do it.
Just go ahead and
And
do
then go ahead and do it, and then you talk about it afterwards because everybody's looking around like, "What the fuck? I didn't think I'd do that. Holy shit, I'm that
it.
fucking powerful.
Mhm,
Oh my god, what
mhm.
else?" And
Well,
then it's, "I want a little more. Let's
yes,
go higher.
and
Let's go higher."
practice.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah, and man, my spiritual experiences have just been just a bam, like, and I've seen it with people too, like, that's why I say when you've gotten better as a survivor and you actually go deep in your healing and then you get into your spiritual journey,
Yep.
woo, girl, I
Forget
love
it.
to see what you're doing. And same as the men that typically, I mean, I was just on a Zoom earlier where they're like, "Oh God, I live in Ohio and all these guys are," I'm like, "Send them to me."
Yeah.
Because just like a survivor, when the typical dude that you have all your judgments about, or most people, when they have an awakening, whoo, Lord, that is 100. That's my boyfriend right there. That's my boyfriend.
Seriously.
Uh-huh.
No,
Like,
seriously. And here's the thing, I want people to hear this, like, so I'm gonna segue actually, because I think this is important to go into a little bit. So one of the most challenging things to transform and heal are programs of separation.
yes.
This is very difficult, and it's very even difficult to understand when we teach it. So I'm going to just say a little bit right now. For people who are victimizers, and for those of you who have been victimized, it is very easy to just hate all perpetrators. That's
Mhm.
creating separation. No, you don't need to run up and give them a hug. See, this our egoic minds immediately go to what is not truth. I'm going to say that again.
Right. They're
I'm
not
going to
coming to
say
Thanksgiving dinner.
our egoic minds immediately go to what is not truth. When we start talking about, because one of the things I'm here to teach on the planet is oneness consciousness. And we start talking about, let's stop the programs of separation. Let's stop hating the people who have hurt us. And when we say that, that teaching is not just, well, it doesn't matter that they hurt you. It doesn't matter that they raped you. It doesn't matter that they beat you. Our egoic minds immediately go to what is not true. So you're saying it doesn't matter and it's okay? Nope, never,
Yeah, exactly.
never, never, ever, ever, ever are we minimizing, justifying, excusing in any way, shape, or form when somebody does something or has done something that is harmful. You're never going to fucking hear me say that. Never. But you are also never going to hear me teach anybody to fucking hate the people that either hate you or have harmed you or victimized you. And the reason for that is that destroys you. That does not destroy them.
So
It
true.
destroys you. That is not powerful. Powerful is going inside, seeing your pain, seeing what is left that is unhealed, and learning what it means to love it. You love and you honor your own pain. Of the universal ways of oneness, one of those 20 ways is the way of honoring. And to honor your own pain means to alchemize and permanently heal it. When you
Yes.
learn what it means to honor your pain, you don't excuse it, you don't dismiss it, you don't bury it or suppress it. You don't live with it forever.
No
Victim
shit.
consciousness, that victim addict. You don't stay with that pain forever. Why would you destroy yourself? You were already victimized once. Why are you going to get cancer because of it?
Oh God, it's so true.
Why?
And you're so spot on. I love you. And the thing is it's easier done than said. So it's
So
like
true.
you
I
easier
love
said
that.
than done. It's easier to, no, it's easier done than said. Just fucking do it. And it's
Yeah.
like you have this like alchemizing is the great word because it's like and it's fast. When you have an
Yeah.
aha moment and you get out of your own way and you actually listen to you,
Yep.
not the
Yep.
programming, it's actually remarkably fast. And it's fun.
Yeah.
I love
And
fuck it. I love F words. It's fantastic. It's
it's
fun.
fantastic. It's
Funny.
fun. It's fabulous. It is forever. When you heal,
Yes.
true authentic healing is forever.
Right. When you have that aha moment and you walk into a new skin, you don't go back.
No,
It's just like when I mean, because I
it's
talk
forward. You
a
go
lot
forward.
Oh yeah, I talk a lot about healthy sex lives and taking your body back in your bedroom.
Mhm.
And once you've done that, and once you like have Kundalini awakenings and see God together, you're not going back to the bar
No,
with the sex addict stuff. Like,
no.
should I have sex to have a hug?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that's what a lot of survivors do, right? You have sex
Yep.
and you get a hug.
Yeah.
Oops, just called you out. Sorry, been there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is what we were referring to earlier. Those are examples of what we were saying of why are you continuing to do self-awareness? Why would you continue to victimize yourself the way that your perpetrator victimized you?
You know
These
what
are the ways that we do it.
I had an aha moment, last night, actually. What excuse me, it was Saturday night. And it was very much about you. I was like, "I'm gonna talk to you on Monday," and I'm like, I have the layers of awareness and awakening are full circle, including your wallet and your work.
Yes.
And like survivorship tends to also come with poverty consciousness.
Yes.
Even when you've made millions of dollars. I mean, I literally have
Yeah.
made millions of dollars, and I would support starving artist boyfriends. I'd give it away. I bought somebody a house. I'm like, you need your rent. I got it covered. Like, just get it
Yes.
away from me
Yes.
because I don't want to. The old programming is, ugh. I don't want to be like the rich people who are trafficking humans.
Yeah.
And that in itself is a lie also, because who are you not to? Because you have a bigger audience when you do that. And I
Exactly.
was like, that's the last, like, well, there's never a last one. That's a hurdle that me personally have had to
Yeah.
like, and you're talking to somebody who literally I've raised $1 million in 10 minutes. God knows how many times. I'm very good at it,
Mhm.
And but for myself, I'm like, give, 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 you know. And I had an epiphany, and it's all words. I'm gonna tell a word, it starts with P. I was like, wow, I've been looking at it like I'm a rebel. Like, fuck all y'all. I'm a rebel with my backpack. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that. I'm excellent at escape routes. I am the one that has like lunch on the rooftop with the CEO and then scales down the side of the building. I am. I do that. Pretty
Love
much.
it.
That's why I have 007 at the end of all my social media stuff. I'm like, God. But I wasn't with the wallet size. I'm like, because I didn't want
Yep.
to be in the same crowd. And I had a word come to me. I was like, "Come on." I literally was sitting at this dinner with this rather handsome human, and I was like, "I'm gonna talk to Rachel. What is my word?" And it came to me, I'm a philanthropist.
Oh, yes.
That is what I do. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you look up, the definition of philanthropist, it's like, it's not only money, it's giving. I mean, that's what I do. I get even now with independent filmmakers, I'll tell you, oh my God, I'll tell you some escape routes, you poor dear thing.
Yeah. So the question is,
What's
with
your
all
word?
the giving, do you give to yourself?
Oh, now it is a new thing. Honestly, in the past 6 months, I got to be honest, because
So hear that. I want our listeners to hear that because that's an
yeah,
important question and I'm asking them as well. It's because you said something so key that a lot of times people who have been victimized, traumatized, they have a lot of unhealed traumas. Then money is also a thing that suffers. That they
mhm,
also, when they're trapped in victim consciousness, for example, those are survival programs. You see,
mhm.
money is a survival program, period end. Money is always related to survival because we need it to survive. So that's what often triggers when we are unhealed and we are then struggling with money, or we can get it, but then we lose it really fast. Like we give it all away, like some of the
Oh, give it
examples that you
away.
were
Yeah,
sharing, we
like
give
yeah.
it away. And it's a lot of people will jump to, oh, you just think you're undeserving. But nah, it's way more complicated than that. It's not necessarily true. It can be true for some, it can be true for some, but I'm mentioning this for a reason. Our programs that are running in our blind spot, these are our patterns that we don't necessarily understand or know that are running, but look at the patterns in your life to see what programs are running. So if you're always giving, 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 but look, I'm a good person, I'm a giver, but do you give to yourself?
Mhm.
And if you're not also giving to yourself, you are not living in oneness consciousness, We are one. If I give to you, that means I am also giving to me. If I give to myself, it means I am also giving to you. Let me give an example so we can understand. If I am giving to myself, say with the prices that I charge for healing or for coaching or for teaching or for speaking or for whatever it is, the more that I give to myself in that way, the more I have to give to you on a lot of different levels. I take care of myself. I put myself first, not in a selfish way, not in an arrogant way, in a healthy, divine way, because the more I give to myself and take care of myself, the more I have to then give to you. It's the most selfless thing we can do.
And it's easier done than said.
It is easier done than said.
Yeah, it really is. So putting that on the schedule for me was, and that was because of the network I started, Rockstar Reformers. I literally, just side note, I was literally laying flat on the ground in like this, well, I'm gonna die moment, because I've been keeping up my movies myself, and like the producer is the creator actually, the first one to set, last to leave. And after everything's done, like to actually get paid on an independent movie, holy cow! It's a masterclass. God. And so I was laying there after one more like freaking union email. I'm like, oh, and I was actually laying on the ground, and I spoke to my Andy Dixon, who my movie The Hammer is about. And he goes, well, sometimes when you're laying flat on the floor, the only thing you do is look up. and I just was laying there looking up. And I was like, well, if I died right now, what would I leave the world besides my brilliant child? You're welcome. She's way smarter than me. And I was like, if everybody in my phone knew everybody in my phone, the world would be a better place. And I literally just did it. I just was like, hey, how about I know all this stuff. I'm kind of a techie nerd, and I just set it up to where you could all just kind of go to each other. And I called it the Rockstar Reformers because we're reforming things. We are reforming. And instead of I didn't want it to be trauma related.
Yeah.
It isn't. And in 4 days, it totally took off. And then now it's been just under 6 months. And the things that have happened out of it have been truly incredible, including me being called out of the exact same thing. Like, are you taking time for yourself? And I'm like,
oh, fantastic.
And I literally, ever since then, I have like a exercise routine. I'm eating different. I quit sugar. We keep each other accountable. And we did what I wanted them to do for each other. They did for me.
Beautiful.
And now I'm like, oh, well, shit, hell. Thank y'all. And because of that, because of laying flat, which is also circles back to the survivorship, when you're laying flat and you're like, fuck this shit, like, how am I ever going to get out?
Yep.
And it's like you're laying flat. And I've been there. And honestly, it is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, September. Like, I've been there. I have thought about the things and been like, that might be the only way out. And there is that moment when you can only look up. And it's there. The answer is there. You just have to listen and get into, your teachings of how to listen.
Yeah. And it feels like those moments that people, when you have them, it feels like that's the only way out. What does that really mean? I want to take that deeper. It is the only way to make the pain stop. It is the only way to make the pain stop. That's really what somebody there in that space and that emotion, that this is the only way to make the pain stop. So I'm gonna break a trend. Breathe, because here comes I'm gonna trigger the fuck out some people. Good at that.
Let's go.
All of you who talk about people who commit suicide and you call them selfish, I'm here to call you out. You're the fucking selfish ones. I don't want anybody ever say that ever again. I'm gonna challenge anybody on that. You dare call somebody who takes their own life selfish after they're gone, then what I have to say to you is you have a lot of fucking growing up to do. And here's why. All those of you who are just so triggered, take a breath, open your heart.
You just, I've made that.
Yep. And here's why I'm bringing that up. Because the person who did that was in such agony. They were in such pain. How dare you when they couldn't get the help, find out how to heal it, find out how to alchemize it, find out how to make it go away. When whatever it was in their own personal experience, they couldn't heal that pain. And what you're going to do on top of it is shame their pain on top of it. How dare you do that? You're the selfish one. So when you're in that much pain, and this seems to be the only way for me to get out of my pain, it's not like that's the first go-to.
Yeah. Might be
Come on,
beer.
people. It's not the first go-to, like, oh my God, I'm in emotional pain. Well, this has lasted more than 5 minutes. I might as well kill myself. Like, come on, let's honor people a little bit better than that. Let's honor people better, because here's the deal. Here's what I want everybody to hear. If you are struggling with that, if you've had suicidal tendencies, if you are there now, you just need to learn how to heal the pain. You have to learn how. It is a process. It is a process. There's a method. There is a process to it. And you have to learn how to do it on an energetic level. Wishing your pain to go away, praying to something outside of yourself, by the way, ain't gonna heal your pain. You have to learn to go through the process of healing it. And for all of you who shame people after they're gone, how dare you take such an arrogant, selfish stance by calling them selfish? That means you have absolutely no compassion for the pain that they were in. You're the one who needs to heal now. Who needs to heal now? Not them.
Girl, all of us.
Yeah. So I want to stop shaming people who are in that place and in that space and who are in that darkness. Stop shining, stop bringing more darkness to it. Let's shine the light, the love, the compassion, and encourage people to get to the professionals and the experts who can actually teach you how to heal your pain. That's the most important thing.
And I love what you said earlier about the what was the term? The inclusive, no cutting out. What was the term you used? It was brilliant. Like the separation. No separation.
Oh, the separation, right?
Yeah, it is oneness, because hello, look at where we're at in this world. It's so divided on quite a few topics, and you can just be hating on your own family,
hating on everyone,
and it's set up that way. It's by design.
It's by design. Nobody
so
heals. Yes.
Yeah.
You're getting tricked. You're falling into the trap
and
of
also,
separation.
And I've been on the road. I've heard stories from both sides, and they're all wounded. And they're all actually really great. Both sides of whatever side you're talking about. Like, it doesn't matter. Wheat or white, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like they're actually really awesome. Humans are really awesome.
Yeah.
And it's so I love what you're doing, and I love that I'm having this conversation with you. I can't wait to go like further into like the spiritual side, because I'm excited for that, because even survivors who I believe are the best warriors, once they get better, because it's like there's nothing like a warrior with a broken heart. Because it's like super strong. There's a reason you put the armor on it, and I'm very into warriorship. I love it. And with the spiritual side, I feel that they're whatever. Like, I don't know what your answer to that is. Why so many have openings? Maybe as a children, it's like, hey, we're gonna put you through some really awful shit, but here's this doorway. We're going to show it to you early. You're probably going to pay attention, or maybe forget about it, or maybe come back to it. Probably journaling about it your whole damn life.
Yeah.
Right. And that's awesome to see people like, oh yeah, I did have that when I was young. And then stepping into that, myself included, of like,
absolutely.
Oh, wow. And now you're actually way more powerful than that. And then you're getting into the steppy, touchy territory of everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, that's another very misunderstood, completely misunderstood concept.
Oh yeah.
When we say that. And it can be, listen, we have to be careful. I'm going to say this to some of the listeners. If somebody is going through hell or trauma or something horrific, you don't say, well, everything happens for a reason, right?
God, yeah, no.
Like that. So first of all, I want to be clear. Worst thing you can say. Worst thing you can say, people. Don't do it, because it is fucking insanely insensitive and non-compassionate to say that. Don't say that. But here I'm going to offer a teaching. because even though I don't like to say it in that way ever, there is a degree of truth in what is happening and what you are moving through is there for you. It is there for you. And no, it doesn't mean, I'm going to clarify because this is where our egoic minds go into this black and white bullshit. And the truth is almost everything's gray. Okay. Our egoic minds immediately are like, yeah, but rape and molestation, that doesn't mean that you went through. Hold on. Those things there's no excuse for them. They don't need to fucking be here on this planet. They don't. There's no excuse for them. The people who do that have a lot of fucking healing to do. They are far from being in their power. I'm going to reiterate that. I know I said it earlier, but I'm going to say this again. It's not about that. It's about understanding that if you go through, say, physical abuse, domestic, if you go through horrific things, there are many, 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 many reasons why that occurred. Many, which there's not enough time left in this podcast episode to go into the 200 different reasons why you could be going through that. But this is the one little part that I want you to understand. You do go through things in a lifetime, your human experience, that your soul feels like you need to go through. And that sometimes includes a horrific trauma. Why? Because if everything was sweet and rainbows and butterflies and roses in your life, you would never be fucking inspired to change this planet and look at where we're at. We are fucked right now. We are killing our planet. We have been for a long time. We are killing each other. We are raping. Men are still raping left and right, still happening all the time. They're raping women. They're raping children. They're raping little boys. We have people showing up just firing and murdering people because of their own emotional fragility. They're not emotionally powerful enough to handle some negative shit in life. So they go murder other people. This is really what is happening on our planet. And guess what? Guess what happens if you live a cushy life and nothing fucking bad ever happens to you? You'll never transform into the warrior that your soul wants you to become to help heal all this shit on the planet, because it's so bad on the planet that the only way you're going to go heal that, instead of, oh, I'm going to look the other way. That's not me. Oh, that's not my reality. I'm manifesting butterflies and roses and unicorns over here. I'm not going to dip my toes into all that other ugly shit on the planet. We have a lot of fucking spiritual bypassers. Guess what? Because of that, there are a lot of people on this planet that have to go through really traumatic fucking shit to turn you into the warrior that we all need right now. We need you, divine warriors, to find your power, stand up, rise up, and change this planet that is oneness. So sometimes going through the fucking trauma is what your soul did choose for you to do. Wake up to that, because your divinity is waiting. This planet needs you. Become the warrior you can become. We need you. We're calling you. Get out of the victim consciousness. Become the warrior. Join us and help us heal this goddamn planet.
Whoop, whoop. Damn, girl. Woo. Sign me up.
That's it. That is it. That is it.
Oh my God. I love you. I have long conversations with the infinite, and I was driving down the road very similar to that. I was having that. I was like, and I want to do this and this and this and la la la, and and like, why the hell do you keep the freaking sucker punch, man? Like, or it, and I don't call it man. I just kind of talk like out, and it's like all these sucker punches and like and then throwing you on the floor again. And fuck's sake, I will say it gets better. It does get better. Those sucker punches out of nowhere. And now it's also like ninja style, being a total warrior. Like you can kind of see them coming. But I was like, what the fuck, man? And I heard, like, I was like, why can't you guys make it easy? That's what I always say, you guys, because there's like all sorts of things up there. Or on the other dimension or whatever, philo dough of time, whatever we're gonna say. and I literally go, can't you just make it easy? Like, why the fuck? And I heard, not like in a schizophrenic way, but you totally understand. I heard like, well, where's the fun in that? And I go, oh, really? This is like a game to you? It's like a game? And I was like, oh, wait. Yeah. So it's like, if it is like this crazy, weird game, essentially, right? Then having this wound it's kind of like you got this awesome gift to heal from. Oh, I said
Yeah.
it. And then you heal from it, and then you've got like, you just leveled up to teach others.
Exactly. There you go.
And it's like, oh, well, shit, that was actually a great gift.
Yes.
And and again, you do it like you called it, like, don't go down that road of like, are you saying my abuse was a gift? I'm gonna kill you.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. We have to get out of our egoic minds and understand these things on a deeper level in order to become who we're being challenged to become. So that is, as we wrap things up, because we're running out of time, that is the last thing that I would love to end on is, no matter what has happened to anybody on this planet, welcome to being human. First of all.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to being human, because the good stuff happens, but also the bad stuff happens. But a lot of the bad stuff happens to challenge us to become who our soul knows we're capable of becoming. Our soul already knows. Their soul is you. That's your higher self. Knows who and what you are capable of becoming in this lifetime. And here's the real truth. Uh-oh. Some of you are going to love this. Some of you are going to feel like sucker punch coming. If everything is so easy for you in this lifetime, enjoy it. It just means that your soul hasn't been here very much. You're stepping in. It can be very devastating to be human for the first time or two. It's a rude awakening to your divine self to be here in tangible form like this and be so limited compared to your divine self. And so you have it easy because you're here to start the human journey, right? For those who actually have it really challenging, you have the highest level of divine power to tap into compared to other people. So start realizing that and tap into it instead of running your damn programs, remaining unhealed, and instead of becoming part of the problem on this planet. And you're supposed to become one of the healers on this planet to help change it for the better. Yes, no one, and I mean no one who has not been through challenges, traumas. If you are an initiate and you have been through hell and back and hell and back and hell, and you're like, wait a minute, I never even came back. I'm still in fucking hell. Those people are the ones who are being put through the initiation so that you can achieve what you're meant to achieve, reach the level of power you're meant to reach, so you can help make a big, massive difference on this planet. So I am calling to you now. If that is you, if you're unhealed, then you have two very important resources now. If you were unaware before, you are aware now. You can go to angelashelton.com. Tell us where to find you, Angela.
AngelaShelton.com.
Follow Angela.
In the schools, so I train all those little kids to go, hi, Miss AngelaShelton.com. I was like, good job. Good job.
AngelaShelton.com. So there are resources there. People can get help. Tell us what kind of help. Tell us what kind of resources, what kind of programs. What do you have?
Through the Rockstar Reformers Network, there's literally everything from shamanic hypnosis to like health and wellness. The Reformers is all people that share similar wounds. So, but that are doing amazing things out in the world. So it's all artists, it's lawyers, it's healers, all who share similar wounds. So we have this, we have a shorthand together, and now we're helping each other. It truly is like, wow, it's beautiful. It's easier done than said, Rachel.
Easier done than said.
It really is. Dang it.
Done than said.
Son of a bitch. I wanted to stay in that ditch. Oh yeah, there's a song. But let's level up.
Let's level up. So you guys have the resources, okay? Rockstar Reformer Network, or you can go to angelashelton.com. Of course, you can always visit Masters of Self University if you want extra help, if you want to join our classes, if you want to get free coaching consultations to see if the coaching programs we offer are right for you. Go right to the website, mastersofselfuniversity.com. Sign up for a free coaching consultation with one of our incredible coaches. Y'all have lots of resources now, which means you no longer have any excuses. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So thank you, Angela. It's been such a pleasure to have you here with me today. I appreciate your time. Thank you to all of our listeners out there. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you are inspired to take action if you have more healing to do, that you can really go get the help and the resources that you need for you to connect to your internal power. Give us a like, give us a share, give us that love button if you have one on there. Love, love, love. We love you. Thank you, Angela, and all our listeners. We'll see you in the next podcast. Bye for now, everybody.
Thank you.